It'll be a 37-yard field goal attempt for Ben Grogan. Grogan from 37. He's got it.
Welcome to the Cowboy Football Roundup. Oklahoma State remains undefeated thanks to another dramatic victory, and this time over Kansas State, as Oklahoma State kicks another late field goal for a 36-34 win. Boy, that's 2 in a row like that, Coach.
Well, they're great wins. I'm really proud of our team for coming back after being behind and rallying and making some plays there in the end after giving up a late touchdown. And we were able to come back and move the ball down the field, and then Ben Grogan knocked another one through for our team.
We'll look at the highlights when we come back on the Cowboy Football Roundup. Welcome back to the Cowboy Football Roundup. Oklahoma State and Kansas State at Boone Pickens Stadium as we go to the highlights on a really nice day for football. Temperature in the mid-60s.
Yeah, perfect. It was a great day. Yeah, really appreciated the crowd and everybody there. Early throws here, a little play action pass to Hayes. We hit him on a number of times during this in the game, and it was a good play for us. We got a little fly motion here. We're able to get Shepard the ball on the perimeter. Try to stretch the defense a little bit, get them running side to side. We were a little experienced at the tailback spot. Then a misdirection play pass there, getting the ball on the perimeter. Lineman downfield blocking, and James Washington made a really nice run there, broke a tackle and scored.
Tie game at 7 after Kansas State had gone down the field to score, and James Washington there, showing he's stronger than he might appear.
Sure, he's very agile and strong. And then back at it offensively, we're on a 3rd and 9. It's a nice throw by Mason, hit Aitman. Aitman seems to be playing really well right now. Really comfortable, nice route, got him turned around, and reached out and took the catch, dragged that foot. I think originally they called that out of bounds.
They did. They said his left foot was down, though.
Yeah, he pulled his left foot down. You'll see it right here. Right there. And big conversion for us. Of course, they're all big. And back at it offensively, and play action pass. Nice job, Mason, there with some pressure on him on another 3rd and long.
Yeah, you're 7 of 10 on 3rd and long, Coach.
Yeah, he really effective in that area. Another play pass here, back out in the flat to James Washington. And Raymond Taylor, really nice run there, pounding it down to the 4-yard line. We were really excited about what he gave us in the game. He hadn't had a lot of reps, but came in and played well. And then JW comes in and flipped it out there to 84 and let him run fast. And he can do that. So it's a good play. Another good plan and good execution by JW, and gives us a little different dimension to our offense.
And the thing is, you've mixed it up down at the goal line with him, sometimes passing, sometimes running.
Sure, and we feel like we have to be balanced, and it's worked out good for us. Defense is back in the 2nd quarter. We had a tough start. Is that Chad flying over the top there?
Yes, and then he comes back and gets the play.
Yeah, plays with great effort. 3rd and long again, and there's Ogball. And it's just quite a force in the passing situation. Was able to get there and
got 6 quarterback sacks for the game as a team.
Yeah, and put him in a punt situation. 3rd and 23, really long, and we converted it up again. There's the yellow marker of where it should be, right?
But it wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
We caught a break.
We got a break there. It's okay. We need a break every now and then.
Sure.
And come right back to another play pass. Good ball by the quarterback to James Washington. Good move by James Washington to get us down to the 15-yard line. Mason's back in the pocket on 3rd and long again. Nice throw. Really good touch pass to Aitman back in the back of the end zone. Good job of protecting, holding up, and laid that ball right up and in there. And that was big for us to cut the score down right before halftime. We ended up squibbing the kick after that, and now that I looked at it and they had 3 timeouts, I wish I wouldn't have. So that wasn't a great call on my part, but we were able to manage and get out of it because they missed the field goal.
Second half highlights coming up on the Cowboy Football Roundup. Welcome back to the Cowboy Football Roundup. As we look at the highlights of the second half, it had an entirely different personality. A lot of scoring in the first half and not so much in the second. Defense came up big, Coach.
Well, they started to get pressure on the quarterback, and our coaches made really good adjustments at halftime. I was really proud of them for keeping their composure and making those adjustments. and giving our players the best chance to win. Another good throw there to James Washington and him staying on his feet after play pass, and then we have a little toss back pass here, a great ball by the quarterback. Really nice catch by Seals. Would like for him to keep running and run under the ball and keep going. And as he matures, I think he'll do that. But reach out and catch it and keep running. But really good play call by Mike. Back in a passing situation again, and out there to Glidden. Picked up 7 yards. Another reverse. And we're going to get 10 more. Really just running plays for us at this point based on kind of where we're at as an offense right now. And Raymond Taylor comes in, and he should have been stopped. Great effort by him, and got the effort play of the game from our coaching staff when they had his legs and they stopped him and he kept going. Now the defense is starting to crank it up. They're playing to the crowd. The crowd's excited. The defense is really going, and Ogbaw's making plays. So this is a good time in the game for us. Got the ball back. And another throw out there from Mason to Glidden. And nice run here by Raymond. Bounced it outside off of the power scheme, and you know, just using some leverage and his willingness to really want to play the game and play hard. So proud of him. Forced him into a long yardage situation, and then I think that was Ogbaw again, and slipped off, but he just about had another sack, but obviously turned him around right there. And we were able to make up for it. Bean missed, and then finally Averett. And that's kind of what the speed that we talked about preseason, I was telling you. You can see our guys that are showing up all the time, and I think that gives us a real chance.
You knocked him out of field goal range too.
Sure, good job by the quarterback sitting in the pocket, putting the ball in the right spot, and Shep goes up. You know, he's pretty good at that. He goes up and takes it, and then what he does is when he lands on the ground, he's not falling down. He's trying to score. And if you see right here, it's pretty good coverage. Coverage is good. But he's trying to run and score.
Keeps his body squared up when he comes down, doesn't he, so that he can continue.
Yeah, and 33's covered him. It's like 33's been there like 10 years. And another ball that's thrown up there. Aitman went up and got the ball. Coverage was good. Thought the coverage was good there, but a good throw and a good catch. And then we came right back down to it and did it again, and Shep went up and took it on 33. And made another play, and gave us a chance there to say, hey, we're back in it, and take the lead, and guys right in position. But the throw was in the right spot, and Shep's went up with those strong hands and made that play.
Tough news is Kansas State wasn't done yet, even with 6 minutes to go.
No, and then they got down here on a third down and ran a tight end drag, tried to sneak him underneath, and Kevin Peterson made a nice play. That's a tough play to defend, and he made a really nice play of knocking that ball away. They converted on 4th down, though, to give them the lead, and then we drove right back down the field. There was a 4th and 7 that we converted. They're blitzing and pressuring. We're able to get another in cut, and at this point now we're running the ball a little bit with Raymond, and getting really good push there with Jesse. Jesse was in there playing with Paul Lewis, had a little stinger, and he's out, and then we centered the ball up and put it in Grogan's hands, and we got a great snap by Caleb, a good hold by Reber, and a good kick by Ben. Good protection up front. There was a lot of pressure on the left side there. 74 and 60 did a really good job of holding off the pressure. Kansas State's a good block team, and so they did a good job holding that up, getting pressure on him, and then we finally get the interception there. I think 17 got it, didn't he?
Yeah, Michael Hunter.
Yeah, he got the interception, and obviously it was caused by the pressure. We got tremendous pressure from our front, and he laid it up, and so we finally got out of there. We've had some close games, but I think you'll see a lot of those in league play, and obviously it's great for television, great for the fans.
Stay with us when we come back. The story of the Polynesians that are part of the Cowboy football team. There are a number of them, and they have a great story to tell. Allison Gappa shares that with us after these messages. Welcome back. Oklahoma State fans may remember a great story from the Texas A&M game in 2010. That's when a backup linebacker named To'u Moala came into the game after an injury and played an amazing game against A&M on no sleep. He'd been at the hospital with an ill child all night the night before, but then took the field, played almost the entire game, and the Cowboys rallied to beat the Aggies. That's a great example of two things about the Polynesian players who have come to Oklahoma State. They are dedicated to family, and they are very hardworking. Here's Allison Gappa.
Polynesians are built for football, and their impact on the sport, despite there only being around 300,000 in the States, is huge.
They're big and fast, and that's like the perfect fit for football. Generally, Polynesians are really passionate people, very loyal, so they take that passion into, the core values, that's in the home, which is their faith, family, and culture. So here at Oklahoma State, really, it's the same values.
Vili Leveni came in his freshman year with Ofa Hautau with the goal of starting a Polynesian group. This year, Oklahoma State has 4 Tongan and Samoan players, plus Benny, who's native to the islands. The group is important because of the cultural emphasis on family, and no one values that more than Vili Leveni.
Family is probably really important, especially in our culture. Growing up with 5 sisters and 2 brothers, big family, and all the girls have their room, all 5 of them in one room, and me and my brother have to sleep out on the couch and stuff like that. You kind of learn to, cherish each other and, love one another and know that, that's all you got. And I had another little brother, he had like special needs. We had like some caregiver, I guess you can say. She came over and, try to teach him little things, play with toys and take care of him. I was always there watching, me being a little kid, I was just being nosy and watching them and playing with his toys too, his little kid toys, and just watching her and what she's doing. And then after she'd leave, I'd keep playing with his toys with him, and my mom would then take him away, taking care of him. But he passed away and was just sick, and he had pneumonia, and I still remember that day we rushed to the hospital, and I was, me being little, I was confused. I was like, well, I don't know what was going on. My mom just got us all in the car. We went to the hospital. It was Martin Luther King Hospital in California. We went over there, and I was just confused. We were all in the waiting room, and they're going upstairs, and I'm just wondering what's going on. I'm lost. And then,
What was that like for 6-year-old Vili?
I was confused and lost at the time. I didn't know what was going on, and we went upstairs, and I just see my mom crying. And I see him laying there, and I'm just, I just remember that day so vividly. It's just upsetting.
How much is he still with you, even today?
Every day, every time I usually take summers to go out to visit my sisters, and every time I'm out there in California, I always make a trip up there to a cemetery, visit him. We used to go there every day after school when we stayed in California. Me and my whole family, my mom would just drive us up to the cemetery. We'd just hang out there for about an hour, just playing over there. And every time we leave, we had to kiss his tombstone and tell him we love him. So.
Whenever you're on the football field, how much is he with you there?
My whole family's there with me. Yeah, I do this all for my family, after everything, and him included, being the first kid to go to college, was a huge thing for me, and getting it for free was like, it was a blessing. I still so grateful to this day, but yeah, I do it for all my family every time I'm on the field.
Vili was projected to start when adversity struck. He tore his Achilles this summer and underwent a season-ending surgery.
Of course, when it first happened, it was devastating. I already knew as soon as it happened, like that's the season for me. So it's kind of heartbreaking. First couple of months, first couple of weeks, it was actually pretty hard. But talking with my family and close people around me, teammates and coaches, it really helped me out, stay positive, and gave me the right mindset to come back strong. So I'm just set on rehabbing every day, and working out every day, just doing what I can to come back stronger.
Through it all, family on the field, in the locker room, and at home have been a rock for Vili. This first generation of Polynesians at OSU is laying that same foundation for future players to stand on.
It's really cool, honestly, to be part of the first generation, getting to college, and not only me, Multi Junior, is just setting the way for all the younger ones back at home, and letting them see a positive example so they can follow our footsteps. And if they ever have questions, we know we've been through it, so we can like provide guidelines, provide help for them, so they understand where you come from. They know that our parents, you know, they came straight from the island, so you know their journey here wasn't easy either. So we all understand, you know, the struggle. We know each other, you know what we've been through, and it's good to have, you know, it's good to have that connection.
We came here for an opportunity at a better life. You know, in Tonga, there's not higher education. You only go to high school, and after high school, either work, you know, at the plantation or work for a family business. But football is an opportunity that, you know, they can fulfill the dream of their parents moving from the islands here, you know, sacrificing so much to, you know, have a better life. And football is, you know, represents that better life for them. And Coach Gundy, you know, he's really excited about that, and he looks forward to having that pipeline of those Polynesian players come through here.
Back for a final time on the Cowboy Football Roundup with head coach Mike Gundy, and next up on the road Saturday night in Morgantown, West Virginia against the Mountaineers.
Should be a great game. Each week is a challenge for our team. We need to improve a little bit in all the areas, and looking forward to getting out there. It'll be a great environment, and should be a real opponent. So looking forward to getting out there and playing the best game we can.
For head coach Mike Gundy and Allison Gappa, I'm Dave Hunziker. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.